This episode is sponsored by our friends at Payne Outdoors. No nonsense, straight talk, outdoor analyst, and custom plastics. Guggen Brothers Custom Tackle, custom made jigs and Ned rigs. Feel free kayaks. Pedal, paddle, or power, there's something for everyone. And Yak Gadget, proudly supplying you with American-made kayak fishing accessories and gear. Now, let's join our host, John Rapp.
Good evening, guys. John Rapp here with the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast, and it's episode 25 here on December 14th, 2021. Looks like tonight's show is a lineup with heavy Texas influence, as I have my boys Chris Payne and Lance McWhorter. Lance is a new guest with the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast, and really looking forward to picking his brain and hearing some of his experiences in life and in fishing. My man's got a very, very deep resume, and we're looking forward to hearing him talk about everything that he's done in the past and what he's got planned in the future. So make sure, while you're on here, guys, hit that smash back button down on the bottom left, share, make sure you comment. So as you comment, this is an interactive show. We want to interact with you as the guest of the show, so we can feed Lance some information and questions from you West Virginia boys in the area. Also, Chris should be on here shortly. Hopefully he'll jump on here in a minute, and we'll go from there. But share, like, follow, and anyway, let's jump over here. Let's bring up Lance's bio. Lance McWhorter, my friends, from Texas, live, raw, unfiltered, on the Rusty Hook. Lance, my brother, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Hey, I appreciate you taking a few moments from your busy schedule and time. I know you got that the Cultured ETX down there, and you're working up some magic for your customers down there for the holiday season. So what kind of menus are you throwing together down there right now, brother?
Man, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. It's an honor to be here. Love the show, love the series, and definitely looking forward to getting Chris on here too. But yeah, I've got a Culture ETX. It's out in Tyler, Texas, about an hour and a half east of Dallas, right, like smack dab in between Dallas and Shreveport. And man, it's just like really worldly kind of food. It's kind of and I love this. I love being on a fishing podcast and get to talk about cooking. It's great.
Hey,
I haven't got to do a podcast in a while, man.
hey, man, we eat. Fishermen like to eat.
Dude, I mean, being an ex-military guy and a high-threat security contractor, I traveled all over the world for years, man. And I've still to this day, I've never stepped foot in like the UK or Europe or anywhere like that. It's all been in like Africa, Middle East, Far East, Pacific Rim, Australia, Central South America. So I was really exposed throughout my life to all these really just bold flavors, and
Nice.
really cool ways of cooking, different techniques of cooking, and it all those bold flavors and that heavy spice and just that that's all. It's just flavor. It tied in with how my little East Texas grandmother taught me how to cook. She's very, you get East Texas cuisine, and it's very much similar to kind of a heavy dose of like Tex-Mex meets Cajun, and it's like this really kind of wild area. Barbecue to, you'll see me do fine dining barbecue dishes, brisket or short rib or pork rib or something that just it's just really kind of a fine dining restaurant that is super laid back. You can wear shorts and flip flops in there. I've had homies that I fish with test that theory. They'll come in straight from the lake and sit down and crack a nice bottle of wine and eat an $80 steak. It's fine dining quality with zero pretension and just it's all about the food. It's all about the music. It's a tiny little restaurant. It used to be a Subway sandwich shop, which is crazy. But the kitchen's right in the dining room. So, when you're in there eating, you get to see us flipping pans and, chopping food, and everything's happening right in front of your eyes. So it's just a lot of fun.
So your menus for Christmas. What is your special right now for
Man,
people passing by?
I don't really do a lot of like kind of holiday themed specials just because I mean it's just not something that's ever really crossed my radar.
I got you.
But I do very seasonal things. Very seasonal. That
Okay.
looks like in right now. The Yeah, super seasonal, super local. I try and get what the farmers and ranchers are growing. I try and just really do something miraculous with local ingredients and just treat them with respect and honor. So right now I don't really have a lot of Christmas stuff, but I've got some cool winter stuff. I've got a really cool lamb dish that's kind of on some pureed like butternut squash and some great greens and there's a local baker that we team up and we do a lot of pop up and collaborations
Nice. Well, hey, I'm going to flip to this.
with called
Flip this here,
and
man.
yeah.
Billy Bones. I just flipped our scenes here to where I've got the website up from Facebook, and I'm
Oh,
showing
cool.
everybody about your tournament fishing
Yeah.
basics. Is your show? I can't.
Yeah, that's my show. Yeah.
I ain't got my
Yeah.
glasses on. I'm not trying to read my screen.
I need
but
to do a lot when I'm doing my show. I won't have my glasses on.
yeah,
I just
so
have
man,
my-
I mean, so tell them,
Yeah.
tell everybody about your show. The guys that here in my area, West Virginia area, that are watching.
Yeah. Man, Billy Bones Custom Kayaks. It came out of a need for boats to be dialed in right. It's like you see people spend a ton of money on boats, spend a ton of money on electronics, and then install them poorly or improperly. They damage their gear, they damage their boats, they do things. So I had the knowledge and I had the tools and I had the space to do it. And I've been working on boats for 10, 15 years. I've been working on direct current electronics for 30 years. Just as a hobby and a part-time profession. So it just kind of put the two together and just started doing really great
Yeah, I mean the guys here. If when we were
installs
talking
and
pre-show,
this morning.
Billy or Lance was talking about all the stuff that he's done over the years. I mean, this guy's resume is off the hook. I mean, he's
Still do most of
done
that
some music work. I mean, you were in L.A. What was you playing, a guitar? Or?
Guitar, yeah. I play guitar in like some metal bands. Did
Man.
that for about 5 years, and just had a couple indie record deals. Was toured around the country and had a lot of fun doing that. But yeah, that was always my side jobs was doing electronics work. That was always been my side job. So it just
That's-
transferred perfectly into kayaks.
So what got you into kayak fishing?
Coming home from Iraq, really. I came home from Iraq. I was in Baghdad for many years. I was working for the State Department, doing kind of low-profile diplomatic security, driving government people around scary places.
Yeah, I worked with some of you guys in the Dahuk province. They would come
I was in
here.
Baghdad proper, and then kind of like Dequar province, like on
Okay.
Nazar, kind of down that
Yeah.
area around Tampa.
Yeah, I was up in Mosul for you. I was an MP.
I've been all over the country, all over Baghdad, and I came home and it was just was kind of looking for things to do to get
It's
my brain
Wednesday.
straight, to get used to it.
I love that
I
video.
tripped
Makes
across
me happy, man. That's
like
video.
some
Like,
crappy kayak at a sporting goods store. I think it was a Perception, and I fished out of that thing for like 3 months on this private lake in my neighborhood. Caught my PB still to this day on that thing, and then I hated it. It was terrible. It was so uncomfortable, and it was so wet, and it was so like. I loved the fishing, but I hated the boat. It was just you get one of those boats, and either you're cool with it, or you just go, no, I'm going to be a real kayak fisherman. I'm gonna
Upgrade.
go down the road and get something. So
Yeah.
I grabbed a Jackson Cuda 14 HD and fell in love with that boat. Still love that boat. That's every time Jackson. I'm on the Jackson team now. With a big rig, and man, every time they come back for the retro, we're gonna bring this boat back. We're gonna bring this boat back, like they just did. I think it's the Kilroy,
Yeah.
and they did the there's another one of the dual sport boats, and I was just like, man, when they did the Kilroy, I was just like, come on, bring the Cuda back just for one, just give us. So many of us, like a ton of us team guys, we were just having a conversation in the team chat the other day, and there was like a crap load of us that were just like, dude, give us the CUDA. Come on, give me the CUDA. Give me the CUDA. You know, so Chris shaking his head no. Yeah.
My buddy's got a big Jackson. My wife worked at a shop here, and she sold Jacksons, Wilderness, Feel Freeze. There's a whitewater slash before she took over the accounting department. But and one of my buddies, he's got that Jackson Big Red Flex Drive. He loves that. And but yeah, I mean, and congratulations being on the Southern Region team. That's a big deal. I think Chris on that team too.
Yeah, he just showed up not too long ago.
Yeah,
we got him. Yeah, right.
He is awesome. So yeah, hey, so let's take a quick break here for a second, and then we'll come back on and we'll talk a little bit more kayak fishing and good food.
Sounds good.
Payne Outdoors, straight talk, an outdoor product analyst and custom soft plastic maker. Check out our reviews and products at our website, payneoutdoors.com.
Feel Free Kayaks, something for everyone. Pedal, paddle, or power, we can outfit you to meet your needs. For more information, visit feelfreeus.com.
Kayak Gadget offers all kinds of kayak accessories such as motor mounts, anchor systems, and other track-based items to make your time more enjoyable on the water. Visit their Facebook page, search Yak Gadget.
Guggen Brothers Custom Tackle specializes in jigs and Ned-style lures. Brothers who know what it takes to put fish in the boat. Check out their Facebook page. Search Guggen Brothers Custom Tackle.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We've been on about 12 minutes here. We've had Lance McWhorter on here. He's chatting with us about his life experiences, being a jamming musician out in L.A., his trips all over the world, being a contractor for the United States government, and, of course, his current gigs as a chef at his business in Texas, Cultured ETX. So if you're down in that area, his area of the woods, look him up. As well as he is a customizer of kayak fishing machines. I don't think he cares what you got, but he can make whatever you bring in a whole hell of a lot better. So let's bring on Lance back on here real quick. Hey, welcome back, Big Daddy.
What's up?
Okay, so yeah, Lance, guys, Lance is below me, the bottom screen, and on the right of my screen, we've got his website from, I think, I can't look at it because I'm looking at a little screen, but I believe it's your Billy Bones website.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Kind of a, it's a project that's growing because it's had a ton of interest, and I've got so much time being pulled in so many different directions. So yeah, I do customization jobs, any brand, totally doesn't matter. I built a mess of Jacksons, I've built Hobies, I've built Natives, I've built, Bonafides, I've built Old Towns. So sky's the limit. Bring me the boats. Anything you need from custom panels or plastic welding or electrical work, installing, rigging. Just kind of wanted to be the one catch-all shop.
That's awesome, man. Now, also, I'm showing these guys, got some video feed here with you doing your show, and it looks like you got bigcatchproducts.com is your big logo underneath there. And it looks like you're talking with Dusty Yacker, man.
Yeah, I had Dusty on. That was a great show. On Tournament Fishing Basics, Catch Products is one of the teams that I feel like that was kind of one of the most surprising teams that I landed on. Was like Catch Pro team is a huge one, and it's kind of when you get onto that team and they invite you in the group and you see the people that are in there, you're just completely humbled. It's a crazy group of people in there, and
it's definitely an honor. Yeah, man, you should be proud to be a part of that group.
Great sponsor of the show. Dusty, of course, is involved with Catch Outdoors. So we did an episode on kind of branding and how to grasp some content and run with it and really kind of help develop your own personal brand. So like tournament fishing basics, we do a lot of that. It's not really fishing basics. It's not really kayak fishing basics. It's taking people that have maybe competed in regional trails or local trails and helping to guide them onto the national circuit. Because that's what I was doing all this last year, was I was out there learning the hard lessons on what it's like to go from basically a novice tournament angler and go start hitting it with the big dogs. It's like when you start rubbing shoulders with, up in your neck of the woods, and you start rubbing shoulders with Jody Queen every weekend.
Yeah.
You start Christine and Guillermo and Matt Scotch and all the people that you see on the Instas and the Facebooks. When you start running into those people on a regular basis, that's when you're kind of starting to really go for the big stuff. That's where you're starting to really kind of dive in. And I realized that, with the travel involved and everybody's busy schedules, that it was really tough to kind of sit down and have a conversation with anybody, because we're always busy. When you're at a tournament, you're always running. So I wanted to start kind of a Q&A that could kind of ask these questions on people when they had some time, and we didn't have to be in the same spot, and we could record it, and we could have it'd be available for anybody to watch and kind of answer some of those questions.
Yeah, so when you get the opportunity after the show, if you have any links that you want to share, throw them up here. I mean, I know you have to have a YouTube show out there or something that you stream to with all your different areas. I know you got the Facebook page. So
if you look up Lance McWhorter, like pretty much on that's the coolest thing about, the worst thing is you have to spell your name to everybody everywhere you go. You don't even say your last name; you just start spelling it. It's a crazy like Scottish name, and then but the good thing of that is if you type Lance McWhorter into just about anything, you'll come up with my chef page, with Billy Bone, with my fishing page, which is Lance McWhorter Fishing. It's just like Chef Lance McWhorter Fishing Culture ETX. So it's pretty easy to find me. You punch me into something, but
outstanding. Outstanding. Well, hey, let's throw you in the background for a few minutes. We'll jump on here with Chris Payne, and then we'll bring you back on. We'll do a fireside chat, round up the day. And appreciate you coming on for a few minutes. So stand by for me, brother. All right, guys, we're going to swing over and hook up our boy Chris Payne from Payne Outdoors and get him on the show. Chris is in the background here. Looks like he's in the kitchen baking. So looking forward to seeing what Chris has got in store for us here. All right, Chris, live, raw, and unfiltered again, my brother.
What's up?
How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm running a little behind on things, but I'm in the shop making baits, which is my happy place. So I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. I'm trying to adjust your volume here. You're
I'm low again. All right, hang on. Let me see what I can do. That any better?
I think that's better. It sounds
okay.
Good. So hey, man, we got one of your Texas brethren on the show today.
Yeah.
Teammate. Yeah, man. So I heard you pop on while we were talking there. I know you said you was running late tonight. I was getting worried. I was hoping you'd show up while we were running.
Yeah. So Lance is all the things I want to be when I grow up, because he's been in a band. He did military service overseas. He's got an awesome freaking restaurant. He's been on Chopped and so I think Lance is pretty much my spirit animal at this point, because man, he's done all the things and he's been successful at all the things, and so I just love being able to that he's close by and that we get to share Jackson together, and he's helped me a lot with looking at some different things, because Jackson's one of my first good kayaks was actually a 2012 Jackson Coosa, and I had that a long time ago, and then I've bounced around to a lot of boats, and for a lot of people they may not know this, I've not actually been boat affiliated since 2013.
Wow.
So it took a lot for me to really come out of that kind of media status where I want to float all the boats, but I I've been friends with Richard Penny for a long time, and I've been friends with a lot of the Jackson guys for a long time. Like, Nick and Richard and I all used to do KBF stuff out in Tennessee, and all that business. And Richard's like, man, look, I really think that you should try one of our boats, because he knew I was looking. I had sold my Outback. I fished that Outback for 2 years. And loved it, but needed something a little bit bigger because of the Highland Reservoir lakes that I fish quite a bit, or even some of those East Texas, like Toledo or Sam Ray. Like, when the water gets up and those rollers start coming, that Outback is pretty low profile, and boy, you just get dumped. And he's like, well, so what are you thinking? And I said, man, I'm looking at pro anglers, but I'm a little worried about how high they sit off the water. They're going to catch a lot. And he's like, dude, you need to get in a big rig, because you've got the stability, you've got forward, you've got reverse, but it's a lower profile boat. It's super wide. You can stand up without a strap, like stand up and walk all over it. And I'm like, I don't know, man. He's like, look, just try mine out and see how you like it. Well, I tried it out, and I was like, okay, I need this one. I need this boat. And I fished it all year, unattached. Won Angler of the Year for our local trail, did, hundreds of miles in it, and it just never missed a beat. And I'm rough on boats. Like, there ain't no garage princesses in my house. Like, it was funny because I just picked up a Kilroy HD from one of our team members, and she was like, sorry I didn't wash it. And I said, do you know the times that, the only time a boat is clean with me is right after I cut the plastic. Like, it's a tool. It's not a trophy.
Amen.
Like, it's a tool for me. And so I need something rugged that can take a beating, and that big rig HDFD took everything and still has plenty left in the tank. And so I was like, okay. And so Richard said, hey, would you think you might want to come play with us? I know you're pretty averse to that. And I said, yeah, I do. And I have to tell you, man, the teammates that I have on that team, they're just some salt of the earth people. Yeah. There's some good kayakers, but I have not found an ego one in that group. Like, they are all just very much, they want to be involved in product development, and they want to help everybody that they can. And they're not of the ilk that there are not things that can be improved on every boat. Like, they're all like, yeah, I wish this were different. I wish this were different. I wish this were different. But the lucky part about Jackson is they take that feedback and they're like, okay, let's tweak this. Let's tweak this. Let's tweak this. Man, there's a new boat coming that I was not involved in the process of developing that. And I can't say anything about that boat except it was designed with a ton of feedback from Jackson team members, and it's going to be awesome.
That's great.
I'm so stoked about that, and I just love the concept that they wanted all of the input. They wanted to make the absolute, just the end-all, be-all from what our team felt like was needed. And so, yeah, that was a whole lot of words to say, yeah, I'm on the Jackson team, and so.
Well, I'm happy for you guys, you and Lance, that you're on some good teams. I feel fortunate to be a part of the Feel Free fishing team and on their competitive team. We just recently, one of our guys, teammates, just had a house fire at his house night before last, and Feel Free has already donated money to him, sent him money to help him, because he looks like he's going to be out of his place between 60 and 90 days. And, it's not like you got a stocked refrigerator. You got to eat out. I mean, luckily for him, it looks like he's got a place that he's going to be able to go stay in while his home's being repaired. But Feel Free stepped up. And just like Jackson and some of these other teams, when you're a family, you take care of each other. And that's what I love about the teams. Speaking of teams and teammates, man, I ain't going to hold that boy in the background too long. So let's go.
No, let him in here.
Let him in here.
Yeah.
He can help you with your baits while he's talking some good, yummy food or something, man.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I need to do is to get out to Lance's restaurant out in Tyler because, I love good food. I do most of the cooking in my house. I've not been to culinary school. Both of my kids are growing up watching chef shows and learning how to cook, and they both have excellent knife skills. And like it's a really cool thing. And then when that combines with kayak fishing and rigging and all this stuff. It's like, man, it's good times. It's good times.
Yeah. So Lance was talking about his restaurant there a little bit ago. I don't know if you were in the background then, but he's talking about he's got a seasonal menu.
Yes. Yeah, that's how you do, John. It's not always cheeseburgers and french fries, man.
Come on. You're talking to an old 5-0, but I am a chili connoisseur. So
okay.
So I bet Lance has got like an armadillo chili or something.
Oh no,
Mammal's a mammal, man. Like it don't matter. It don't matter what you put in chili. That's why they invented chili. I mean, like literally, it was literally like this tastes like absolute crap. Like how do I make this taste good? Chili. That's literally how chili was born. It was like, is it rat? Is it squirrel? Is it cow? Pig, goat? Like it doesn't matter. Antelope. It's like.
Oh, speaking of squirrels, man, you just made me think about my dad's squirrel gravy recipe with some biscuits.
Well, I grew up on it, like Brunswick stew, like really good squirrel. I had like an aunt, a grandma that lived out in like Lufkin in East Texas, and we'd go shoot squirrels, and she would just gravy them right up. They're incredible,
Now
you tell people now, and they kind of frown on it a little bit because it's like
that's a rat. That's a rat that climbs trees.
No, they're delicious.
Yeah. What
The
about
first thing I ever took from limb to plate with my son was a squirrel.
Yeah. What about you guys have a deer season, hunting season down there?
Oh yeah. That's
we just wrapped up our 2-week buck season, and the deer recipes are flying off the hook here.
Yeah, when I was living in the hill country, it was a lot, but like East Texas, I've shot a couple of big deer out here, but they're not as thick as they are down south. You get in the hill country when I lived outside of San Antonio, and we'd shoot 5 a year. It was all the time. So we would roll through deer meat.
Yeah.
But cooking wise, everything cooks the same. I always tell people, like, I'm big into butchery. Some of the big contests that I've won and the big national competitions are basically like fine dining, like full animal utilization of pork, like nose to tail, making sure there's no waste. So that came from hunting was that is probably what led me into really being a professional chef. Was getting robbed by the deer processor, which happens to us all. I got robbed. I bow hunt when I was living in Utah when I was a firefighter up there, and I was bow hunting elk, and I got a big, beautiful cow, and I know I took care of it, and I know that it was babied all the way and packed with ice and all that. And then when I got my meat, one, I was like, nah, this is short, and two, I'm like, not all this is the same animal. It's like you can just tell, you can taste it, and so that led me to starting to butcher myself. All the way down to cuts and packaging and making sausage and making chili and making things that would last, and even canning and preserving. I do a lot of that for stuff for the restaurant. I'll do preservation. I'll do fermentation. I will do just long-term manipulation of products that allows you to use things when they're not in season. I worked for a restaurant. There was a James Beard nominated place called FT33 in Dallas, and most of our menu was fermentation and preservation because we were only allowed to work with ingredients in season.
Well, so hey, do you do anything specially catered to your plant-based only people?
Oh yeah, I love stuff like that. Like that's what a huge common misconception with people and chefs is, and maybe it is with just your ordinary run of the mill cook at your family owned restaurant, I guess. But as like a chef. I love it. We had a former Miss Texas, Miss USA contestant. She comes into the restaurant every special occasion that she can get. She's driven to every restaurant that I've worked at over the last, 6 years. And she's a vegan and has dietary restrictions. And she's always come to see us with her now husband. because that we view it as a challenge. It's like every time something comes in, I don't want somebody to go, "Oh, I'm a vegan. What do you got for me?" I'm like, I don't know. You can take the steak off the steak plate and just eat the vegetables. I'm like, that's kind of like a cop out. I'm like, but that's literally what most places do. Is they just, well, I don't know. You can take meat off of anything.
Yeah.
Oh well, thanks, guy. I could have figured that one out.
Right.
Thank you.
But if you really take the opportunity to try and create something that's bold and flavorful and beautiful on the plate, and it goes a long way with people. When you can come in and say, I can make you a salad, as opposed to, my chef de cuisine came up with these really killer like a beet ravioli stuffed with it was just some stuff we had laying around, butternut squash and smoked pecans, and we pickled up some whatever, it's it was I think he pickled some blood orange to go with it, and it was great. And that's kind of how we've always guided these, our team, is to view things as a challenge. My collard greens are vegan. I did that kind of because nobody's ever done it, it's like, and I was like, vegans never eat collard greens, dude. I'm like, that sucks.
That's a shame.
It's like the best vegetable on the planet.
Speaking of cooking and vegans, looks like Chris has got some vegan baits going on back here for some bass. What do you got going on, man?
I've not talked about this publicly. I have a new bait mold that I've been perfecting. And I need to let those that I just shot cool, but I have a good customer in San Antonio who asked me to get into this, and so I'm going to show you for the first time anywhere. I'm now making tubes.
Oh, nice.
So it's a 4-inch.
I'm the only person in Texas that fish tubes.
No, there's a few of us. So I can make them in either a flipping tube, so throwing, a big thick head. So if you're going to put a bullet weight on top of it and peg it really heavy, or we can make it for lead head insert.
Yeah.
Either way, you just have to order it, and so I'm kind of perfecting those, strengths of those tubes, because they have to be wired a little different than just a plastic worm. So that's what I'm working on. I have like 3 questions for Lance.
Shoot.
So you're from Texas, but you're also a chef.
Yeah.
Do beans belong in chili?
Are you trying to ask me if beans belong in stew? Yes.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
Good.
Chili does not have beans. Just
oh man, that's wrong.
Literally by definition. Okay. You can look up I think it's the National Chili Society or whatever rules.
Yes.
No beans.
No
beans.
beans.
Thank you,
Beans
sir.
are not allowed. Beans are the OG Texas red that the ladies served from the carts down on the streets of San Antonio back in the day. No beans.
That's all. I guess my bachelor chili is. What do you call watered with beans and meat in it then?
That's stew.
Soup. Okay.
Yeah, that's
soup.
Yeah.
I got bean soup.
Soup. Yeah, if it's got flour in it, or a thickening agent in it, it's stew. If it doesn't, it's soup.
Okay, I'll have you win, Chris. I will read.
That's a Texas thing, brother. If you want to figure out if somebody is like real Texas or if they're just like real Texas, you ask them about beans and chili, and they'll be like, "That doesn't make any sense. Why are you saying that?"
like it's not even a conversation to me. That's just that's not even a starter. It's just
I guess when I make my chili this weekend, when I make my chili when I make my beans this weekend, I'll tag you guys in it, and so here's my bean soup.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. All right, question number 2.
All right.
So for somebody who's looking into getting into home cooking, right, and doing a little more slicing, dicing, that kind of stuff, but they want to butcher. So I do a lot of butchering at my house, and I have a knife that I had custom made from a forger here locally, specifically to my specs. But are there off-the-shelf knives, maybe higher-end type stuff, $200, $300, whatever knives that you would recommend for like a home shelf who wanted to get into butchering out some stuff? Because like just poultry and fish alone, buying it on the bone, Like there's so many more things you can do with it if you butcher it out yourself, and it's like a third or a fourth the cost.
Yeah, and I mean, like people need to look up things like. I think that's one of the things when you get exposed to like really kind of fine dining is you start learning a bunch of the old traditional stuff like fumet. Like how to make an actual fish stock or how to.
Right.
I used to take the entire carcasses and hang them above my grill in the restaurant and up in the vent hood, and then they would dry out, and then we'd use them for fumet for stock.
Huh.
But yeah, good knives, man, for doing all the fish, all the meats. I would honestly, because I just got to play with them not too long ago. For a good home set, Bubba, man, like Bubba blades. They have been rocking it, and I'm putting together to do some stuff with them.
Awesome.
So you're going to see some recipes. You're going to see some butchery guides, techniques, breaking down. Like I'm going to do some whole animal videos with some of their stuff.
Awesome.
Whole pigs, But yeah, Bubba's got great stuff. And then with the fish, they've got great. I mean, their reputation was built on their fillet knives.
Fillet knives, right? Yeah,
they're great. I mean, if you can get the Pro Series with the ion battery, yeah, sure, that's awesome. If you can't, just get the basic like knife handle with the multi-handle kit or the multi-blade kit. That's really great. Their chef knife set, like the whole knife block that they make now, is killer. Like really good quality, really well balanced. And I mean, like as a chef, like I mean, I will tell you, I don't have a Bubba block of knives sitting in my restaurant. Like I've got $400, handmade, blue steel, like Japanese, hand forged, hammer forged chef's knife, But at the house, or when I'm on the road or whatever, like absolutely. And I cook all the time when I'm on the road. That's just, you want to save yourself thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a year on the tournament trail.
Yeah.
Cook.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things that I'm doing with these guys is we're going to put together some recipes. So that's
Nice.
something that's 2022.
Beautiful. That's sort of where I was hoping we could go. Was like,
Absolutely.
I bought a camper, man. I got a little and this year I plan on, making some stuff at the house prepackaged so I can throw it in the refrigerator in a camper and go. But it's got a hot plate, and
Oh man, get a you want to do something really cool? Get an inverter with like a Dakota lithium battery.
Yeah.
And plug in an Innova sous vide head while you're out and just in like a bucket of water, and like you can smoke brisket at the house and keep it in a cooler and drop the bag in the tank and just let it rip while you're out on the boat all day long, and you come back and it's like it just came out of a 13-hour long smoking
Now, Lance,
session.
question: can you sous vide beans?
Yeah, sure you can.
I'm joking, man. I'm just joking. This is my chili beans.
Yeah, I mean, it would actually be really good. That'd be a great way to do it. The biggest thing with beans and where most people make their mistake with beans, and this is something that everybody's grandma should have taught them, was whenever you're working with beans, something with a skin like that, never salt them until the end. Like that's like salt. You can do the other seasonings, you can do whatever, but salt, just the way that it affects the skins. You ever eat those beans where they're just kind of like mealy, like just kind of, that's because somebody salted them too early.
See, folks out there that are watching, Lance and Chris cannot see my facial expressions and my hand gestures and all that. So while they're giving me the devil here, talking about chili does not include beans, I'm letting them have it. I'm letting them have it with my hands and facial expressions. So they'll have to go back and watch this and give me a hard time later. But hey, let's take a quick break before we go to our final minutes and wrap it up. But and let these guys give us their closing thoughts here. So stand by.
This episode is sponsored by our friends at Payne Outdoors. No nonsense, straight talk, outdoor analyst, and custom plastics. Guggen Brothers Custom Tackle, custom-made jigs and Ned rigs. Feel-free kayaks. Pedal, paddle, or power, there's something for everyone. And Yak Gadget, proudly supplying you with American-made kayak fishing accessories and gear. Now, let's join our host, John Rapp.
All right, guys, we're back. We've been on the show for about 40 minutes. got our two good friends from Texas here from the South Region, Jackson Kayak Fishing Team, and also some heavy-duty influencers in the Texas region with Lance McWhorter from Billy Bones and his podcast, Kayak Fishing Basics. We got Payne Outdoors with Chris Payne here. He's in the kitchen fixing some plastics up. So let's bring these fellas back on and let's talk all things kayak fishing. Oh, what you got there, Chris?
Nice, man.
Those are tubes.
Oh, heck yeah.
They haven't been cut yet, but they're tubes.
So, man, I cut Lance off air when we went to commercial break for a second, and he was talking about the sous vide, and when the last part of our conversation was Lance was talking about how in his podcasts and his shows he's got some stuff planned to help kayak anglers save money when they're on the road. So
yeah, that's
continue on, brother.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, right now I'm working on a kind of a setup with a trailer manufacturer that has like kind of portable kitchens and things like that. It's going to allow us to get out on the road and shoot some videos, kind of do some water to plate stuff, do some traveling around, and I want to meet up with some of my chef buddies all across the country and take some of their ideas from the kitchen and bring them out, take them fishing. I mean, even if we don't catch anything, we're still going to cook something killer and figure out a good way.
What a concept, man! That is the best concept.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's a killer concept. Who doesn't love to eat and go fishing? I mean, that's awesome, bro. Great idea.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's. I mean, I was talking with actually, it was Michael. He was the media director out at Bucks Island in Alabama. I went and did a demo out there for Jackson, which we do if you got a Jackson dealership out there and you ever want any of us guys to come out there and hang out when you're doing an event, just let us know. We'll always find somebody to come out there and do it. But I wound up meeting, a bunch of people at that really kind of helped launch me. I mean, John Cruz of Missile Baits. That was a relationship that blossomed into a full blown sponsorship. You get out there and you start showing your work ethic to a lot of these people, and that you'll travel and you'll get out and you'll work and do things, and people start to recognize you and take note of that. But Michael out there at Bucks Island, which is a very well known, boat dealer out on the Coosa chain, man, he was just like, you're doing great at fishing. He's like, but I mean, you're already on Food Network. You've already won all these awards. You're flying around the country. You're cooking in Napa. I'm doing these live fire things with, pigs on big, metal X's over flames and, lambs and things like that, whole bodies. And he's like, people dig that. So why not figure out a way to combine the two while you're out there traveling?
I think it's an excellent idea. I really do.
Around, and it's a year of planning and a year of working it and a year of kind of talking with people like Dusty Yacker and Vasily and freaking Duke and all the guys out at Catch Outdoors who make these videos all over the country. Yeah. Some other friends of mine that do, and you just work it and you learn it and you start figuring out, all right, what equipment do I need? I need a good mixer. I have that for my podcast. I need a good camera. I've got a few of those on my boat. I can get a few more to do this angle or that angle, It's a lot of fun when you start kind of figuring out how to tie in all your lives together.
There you go.
I'm really looking forward to that. I think 2022 is going to be a gas, whereas 2020 and 2021, as far as being a restaurant owner were concerned, were absolute hell for 24 months.
I can bet. Man, I think that's going to be, I look forward to seeing some of your work, man. I mean.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean,
I kind of want to cook and fish with professional anglers.
Yeah.
And I want to fish and cook with professional chefs. You know what I mean? Like I want to take each one out of their element, and like cook with the fisherman more than I fish with the chef. You know what I mean?
That's a huge sell right there. That's a great concept for a show. I mean, really.
Y'all start calling up Food Network and tell them to write me a check.
That's right. Food Network. Hey, Food Network. If you're listening, the man's got something going on there.
Ooh, curly tape.
That looks good.
That's a 10-inch.
Dang, that's a Lake Fork worm right there.
Yes, sir.
Just let me know when you're passing by. It's only an hour from the house.
Yeah, well, hey, we need to do that. I need to do a fork trip in the spring, We'll come eat at your house, eat at your restaurant.
Look on his face.
Okay. We'll come eat at Culture ETX. Talk about the food.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got some gluten-free stuff. So gluten-free is kind of where I'm at. I've got celiac disease, and so I can talk about that and get that out to the gluten-free folks.
Yeah.
And then we'll go fish and slay on some baits, catch some monsters.
Sounds good to me. I'm
that
down.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Well, guys, hey,
So,
we've been playing on here for 45 minutes, so we can wrap up this conversation. Chris, you got any final thoughts?
when in doubt, buy the boat.
Hey, man of many words, Chris Payne. Lance, what are you thinking, brother?
Oh man, final words, dude. Chase your dreams, crush them. Like do the Conan thing with them. To drive them out. Hear the limitation of their women. Whatever you got to do, but just identify what you want to do. Love it. Crush your dreams. Just do whatever it is you set out to do and figure out ways to do it even better. If I can help you guys learn to cook better or fish better or anything, you guys can find me Tournament Fishing Basics podcast, which is coming back soon. We've been on a little break so I can get my wine and beer program going on at the restaurant, which has been happening now. But yeah, keep an eye out on all the socials. Just look up Lance McWhorter, and I'll be happy to help in any way that I can. You shoot me a message on anything, and I will always figure out a way to. It may take me a day to get back to you, but I will get back to you, and I'll help wherever I can.
Awesome.
And thank you for having me on.
Hey, thank you for joining. So Heath Mullins shouted out and told us, hey, guys, what's up? Randy Newton from Florida, what's up, guys? Heath Mullins said he loves his Coosa FD. Anthony Fitzgerald was like, hey, is it chili without beans? LOL. And then Chris, he said, tell Payne to make a tube I could put on a chatterbait easy. LOL. So...
Dude, that's another thing I can put out there. I hate chatterbaits.
Me too, buddy.
Dude, I can't catch crap.
I am happy to hear that. I am so happy to hear that.
Blind squirrel kind of thing.
Yeah.
Man, not. Chatterbaits, sorry, man, not my thing.
That's been on my show a couple times here where Chris is giving me the devil because I have asked for advice after video after video to learn how to fish that thing. So.
Spinner bait or a jerk bait, like that's if I could fish a chatterbait, I would rather fish a jerk bait, which is cool in Texas because nobody fishes a jerk bait in Texas.
I can see that. See that.
Yeah, dude.
Hey guys,
I knew I liked you.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you and your families. Be blessed and nothing but love from the Rapp family and from all of us at Rusty Hook. Chris, I say we take the week off next week. I might throw up a live video if anybody throws some video our way for wishing everybody happy Christmas and Merry Christmas. And maybe are you guys doing any shows? Any shows upcoming, like trade shows in January?
The only thing I know that I've got on my book for January is driving all the way to the Kiss Me Chain and doing that's the last weekend of the month. So I'll be doing a Florida trip for the kickoff of KBF. So that's
I got a fishing show at the East Tennessee Fishing Show there mid-January, and right outside of Knoxville. It's probably one of the biggest fishing shows east of the Mississippi. I'll be down there with Frontier Outdoors representing Feel Free, helping them guys answer questions with the Feel Free series of boats. And but Chris,
Texas.
Yeah, so I'll get
Tennessee.
with you, man. We'll make an announcement when we want to start back up. I guess we'll call it season 2 for the Rusty Hook, baby. But appreciate you guys jumping on here for episode 25. Be blessed. All right, guys, that was our boys from Texas, Lance and Chris. God bless them and thank them for jumping on the show tonight. Appreciate all you fellas that have jumped on the Rusty Hook the past 25 weeks. We're coming up on 250 followers, and I just got some shirts in from the Rusty Hook, from Steve Gunner's Gunner Logo Works. He made us some shirts for the podcast, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw 3 shirts in the mix when we hit 250 followers. And then once we hit that, I'll draw 3 names and 3 winners, and we'll send a shirt to them. So I appreciate you guys. God bless you. We will see you in January. Be blessed. Have a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year.